Welcome back to The World Today. President Goodluck Jonathan picked up the nomination form of the People's Democratic Party, beating the deadline set by the party. Dr. Goodluck Jonathan was accompanied to the PDP headquarters in Abuja by Vice President Namadi Sambo, serving ministers, governors selected on the platform of the PDP and other party supporters. Now, after being welcomed by the leadership, the president was presented with the nomination form by the chairman of the party, Alhaji Adamu Muazu. The president told the gathering that the PDP, under his leadership, will work harder to make the country a better place to live in.
Let me thank God for today and thank Nigerians that were here today for this brief ceremony. And let me thank the leadership of our party and all members of our party for believing in me and giving me the right of first refusal. I could have still picked the form if they did not give me, but giving me the right of first refusal have attracted more people than ordinary it would have. Your Excellency, our Chairman, thank you and extend my appreciation to other members of our great party, members of NEC, that unanimously endorsed that decision here. And secondly, let me use this unique opportunity to thank the PDP Governors Forum for providing the 2 million for the procurement of the expression of interest form and the 20 million for the procurement of the nomination form. Let me also thank members of TAN for providing 2 million for the procurement of the expression of interest form and 20 million for the procurement of the nomination form. And let me really thank so many Nigerians. I cannot enumerate because it has been formally announced. Individuals and a lot of groups, youth groups, women groups, civil society groups, even students from the Northwest, Northeast, North Central, Southwest, Southeast, and South-South have contributed to the procurement of the country. I remain most grateful for their gesture. And I thank them for believing, first, in this country. Secondly, for believing in the PDP, because they know that the form is for a PDP ticket. And lastly, for believing in me.
President Goodluck Jonathan, after picking up his nomination and expression of interest form at the PDP headquarters in Abuja. I have joining me now our political correspondent for Channels Television, Shewa Kimberley. Thank you for joining me on The World Today. Always wanted to have you on the program talking about political issues. Now I do. So the president picking up the only nomination form of the PDP, that says a lot about the party, doesn't it?
Of course. You rightly said the only nomination form that exists for the party, according to the leadership. You remember about a month ago, the party leadership, the Board of Trustees, the caucus, talk about all the organ, the National Executive Council, the National Working Committee of the party, all of them coming out to say we are endorsing President Jonathan as a sole candidate of the party. So picking it up today, the last day, the deadline set by the party, I guess is a political strategy to keep every one of us guessing maybe he was going to pick it or not.
You know, I was actually going to ask about that because the president had enough time to have picked up that form, but he allowed other, speculations. He allowed a lot of speculations. One of them being the two candidates that we saw 2 days ago who came out to say they paid the 22 million naira for the nomination forms, and we're told that they couldn't, go home with any forms.
Interestingly, at the Wadata House, where the headquarters of the party is, when you pay in the bank, interestingly, in the headquarters, you find your name appear automatically on the screen. There's a screen that shows how you, who is paying and what position the person is vying for and all of that. It makes it so interesting. And when these people came up and said, look, they want to, is their right as a member of the party to run? But when the National Working Committee of the party or the highest body in the party say, look, we just have only one slot. And the party has been coming out in Akwa Ibom State, in Adamawa State, they're saying coming out for specific decision about zoning, about candidates, it shows that, look, party has set aside what they want to do and what is set to achieve. So these people coming out, the party will be very strategic and very careful the way they handle it. Every party member has a right to vote and be voted for, to have ambitions.
You know, Seun, I worry about the sort of precedent that this sets for the PDP. I'm wondering if this is something they can keep up, having a sole candidate for president. What else would we see? Sole candidate for governor?
There's been a lot of criticism about the step to have a sole candidacy. The opposition party were the first to come out to say this is no way any form of democracy, when a party will say, oh, we're not going to give anybody an opportunity. But then it's not even cast in stone, because a party, according to the electoral law, needs to have a convention where all delegates will say, we come together. Even if you're the only candidate, they still need to have a voice vote of some sort. So it's not still cast in stone. People will still come and contest it, just like we have these two people. The party leadership, whatever they say, is binding on all members of the, unfortunately.
So what are the other political parties saying? Because I imagine that they must have a lot of criticism for the PDP. I mean, they say this is the party that, you know, does this, is a party that, I mean, is that where you really want to go if you have political ambitions, where they crush it before you get a chance?
You know, it's a very critical time. We just have less than 4 months to the election days, and every opportunity every party has to to criticize or to talk about the opposition, they use that opportunity. It is a very big opportunity that the opposition has, and they've been using it, saying, oh, you criticize us that we don't have internal democracy. Look at yourself, you don't have internal democracy. But internal democracy, really, or democracy, is about people who are agreeing, and that's where the issue of consensus candidacy, people who are agreeing or disagreeing about a matter. But the PDP has seen a lot of troubles in the past months, in the past years, before the emergence of Adamu Muazu as a chairman of the party.
Yeah.
I mean, his emergence brought some sort of peace for the party, and every means they need to, they've got to make sure they stabilize the party. They've got to use it, and I guess there's one way they think they can settle a lot of issue about it. Don't forget, PDP is a conservative party of some sort. You are talking about philosophy, a center-right kind of party. So there are a lot of things that, and it's a ruling party from 1999, this Fourth Republic. Look, every opportunity they have to dash tension.
But I really don't want to speculate, about the future of the PDP next year's presidential election. So I'm just going to leave it there. We'll keep monitoring. You will keep monitoring, and you'll get back to us.
No
Thank
problem.
you so much for joining us
Amara.
on The World Today.
Thank you.
In other news now, a spokesperson for Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas has described the closure of a disputed Jerusalem holy site as a declaration of war. Palestinian authorities have vowed to take legal action against the move, which came as tension brewed over the shooting of a Jewish activist. Rabbi Yehuda Glick was seriously hurt after a meeting where he urged greater Jewish access to the site. Israeli police have confirmed the killing of a Palestinian suspected of shooting a prominent right-wing Jewish activist. The rabbi was a well-known U.S.-born campaigner for greater Jewish rights at the to pray at the site. Site is the holiest in Judaism and contains the Al-Aqsa Mosque, the third holiest site in Islam. We're still in the Middle East as the battle for the Syrian towns of Kobani rage. Activists in the towns have entered the besieged town on the Turkish border. Dozens more are expected to join them in helping Syrian Kurds defend the strategic town against Islamic State militants. Turkey has finally authorized Iraqi Kurds to cross the border. Some 150 of them are still waiting to travel from Turkey to Kobani, which has been under siege for about 6 weeks. The arrival of the first Peshmerga comes a day after a group of Syrian Arab rebels entered the town also to fight against ISIS. They were aided by the US-led coalition airstrikes. To our focus on the Ebola crisis, which has raged on in West Africa, though the WHO says, well, the spread may be lessening. Over in the U.S., a U.S. nurse who had cared for Ebola patients back in Sierra Leone has been defied a quarantine order for leaving her house in Maine for a bike ride. Cassie Hickok says isolation is unnecessary as she has no symptoms and has shown and has tested negative for the Ebola virus disease. However, officials have vowed to go to court to try to enforce a quarantine on her.
It is not my intention to put anyone at risk in this community. We have been in negotiations all day with the state of Maine and tried to resolve this amicably.